best entertainment on the earth. Tune in for Comics with Perch.
Hey everybody, this is Perch. Are you reading the What If Miles Morales books? It's basically what if Miles Morales was Thor, what if Miles Morales was Wolverine. And I think those comics are destructive, but somebody wrote in here, let's see what they say, and then we can talk about it. It says, hey Perch, hope everything is going well for you and your family. Thank you very much. It's going fine. I've been thinking about the recent What If Miles Morales series, and I'm worried gimmicks like this are going to severely hurt the popularity the character achieved in the wake of Into the Spider-Verse and the PS4, PS5 Spider-Man Miles Morales game. Do you think it's possible I'm overreacting? Take care, be the voice of reason. Oh, thank you. Um, I don't think you're overreacting at all. I think it's a major concern. I really do. And the problem is getting a character to be popular, getting a character to be unique and popular is not easy. I think at times people trivialize that, both in the comic industry and fans, people complaining about the comic industry. They kind of hand wave how hard it is to get a character over, to make them, sustainable and popular and make them work. It's not simple. And I think that if you start to confuse the audience by like, hey, here's this character, and we can just have them be any identity, it takes away the core of what's making them popular. In this case, Miles Morales, and what's funny is all the criticism that people gave Marvel about Miles Morales being a knockoff character. They just made Peter Parker black, kind of this kind of stuff. This has been relentless for several years. And I disagree with that perspective. I think what made Miles Morales work is his personality, his backstory, his supporting cast. Fundamentally, he was different from Peter Parker. The hang-up was he was running around with a Spider-Man costume, but in the Ultimate Universe, it made sense. They killed Peter Parker. It made sense. It was logical that somebody else would step into the mantle. They did an entire story about it. They took their time. It was built. And so I think the arguments of like, they just race swap Peter Parker, it's fun. No, they did the work. Whether you like the character or not, they did the work to try and make him, Miles, unique. And the movie came out, and it was that was almost an even better display of the personality of Miles versus the personality of Peter Parker. They were able to draw an extremely distinct difference between the two, and that's why it was popular. The Spider-Man game the Spider-Man game was fun. Didn't really get into the personality too much. I admit I didn't love the Miles Morales Spider-Man game. I liked the first one, the Peter Parker one, but even there it felt kind of repetitive at times. I'm one of those people who wants to get all the trophies, so I'm swinging around trying to collect all the dumb crap off rooftops, and that kills the game. But be that aside. So when I see them doing What If Miles Morales was Thor, it feels like someone at Marvel is wanting to kind of prank or make fun of the critics. They're like, oh, you want race swaps, eh? Well, here you go. Here's Miles as Thor. Here's Miles as Wolverine. Here's Miles as Captain America. Here's Miles as everyone. See, we can do this. You're making fun of us for race swapping. Well, suck it. Suck it, critics. Here you go. I feel partly that way because, one of the people involved in one of the books stated that on Twitter of like, if this made the dude bros mad, it's only the dude bros. I mean, for the record, there can be Latino dude bros and Asian dude bros and indigenous people dude bros and LGBTQ dude bros. Like whatever. Some insults don't make sense. That's part of why idiots use them. I know. But this will make the dude bros mad. Look, it's Miles as Thor. And I can't wait to see the angry reaction from the trolls. And that's always, to me, whenever I see somebody saying that, I'm like, this person is dumb. This person is somebody who doesn't have any kind of stake in the game. This is somebody who was paid a couple $100 for a pitch and maybe $1,000 for a script. And they don't have any long-term stake in this. And their goal is to get likes and retweets on Twitter as opposed to actually build their career, get money, have a sustainable... it just doesn't work. So when I saw that this stuff was going on, when I saw that they were doing the What If with Miles, I had the same reaction you did. I'm like, oh no, they actually did a good job of making this character unique, of bringing something new to the table. And instead now it's been there's a train going up. Listen to this train. I don't understand, by the way, the trains in Texas. There's a lot. I really understand trains, but they're in no hurry to get anywhere. They just randomly cross. I don't know. Sometimes they just stop and hang out for a while on the road. I understand they're switching tracks and all that, but anyway, it feels like as a big hub of transportation, they could do a better job with that. But I don't know. Now I'm trying to do everybody's job. Sorry, the train was distracting me there. Anyway, Miles, I think that Miles had a unique personality. It had a build, it had a character, it had everything there. And so by race swapping him into Thor and Captain America and all these other superheroes, all they do is say, see, in this weird way, they're just proving the critics right, that there is nothing to this character. It's completely a blank slate. They can toss a different costume, a helmet, whatever on him, and it doesn't matter at all because this character has no unique defining personality traits of his own. It's just, do you want him to be Iron Man? Sure. Do you want him to be Emma Frost? Why not? Put some boobs on him. He's good. Like there's nothing about that character that brings any uniqueness. And in many cases, in some of these books, they had Uncle Aaron, the Prowler, show up as Sabretooth or show up as the villain. So not only these stories they're carbon copies of each other in a lot of cases. You read one, you kind of have the same plot in all of them, but they're taking not just Miles, but the entire supporting cast that was unique to Miles and saying, oh, we could just swap around wherever. They're as individuals, they don't matter. And that's the fundamental problem with this entire thing is they had something. I think they still have it, but they are putting it at risk, and they blow it away for I can't tell. The What If Miles stories are not selling well. They were under ordered at the comic shop because, of course, they were. And I hate to say it, but the business strategy for those books primarily seems to be let's taunt and prank the people on Twitter we don't like. It does not seem like, hey, let's sell a character, hey, let's get some books out into the market. It is, let's attack the critics who are making fun of this by leaning into it and kind of making fun of what they were complaining about. That doesn't serve Miles. It doesn't serve Marvel. And it, frankly, even people like Bendis and Saladin and others who have worked hard to actually create some kind of uniqueness to the character, it erases their work too. I brought this up to somebody at Marvel, and I got the response of, what are you taking it so seriously for? And I always hate that response because, yeah, you can't be just Mr. Serious or Miss Serious all the time. You do need to be able to take a joke and everything else. But we're talking about business here. We're talking about the company's profitability, ability to rein business, ability to pay people. So I do think you should take it seriously. I think it's not a bad idea if you were serious about it. Hand waving this stuff aside is like, we're just joking around. I mean, but you're paying people, you're printing a book, you're producing it, you're taking out to the market. You've got IP that's pretty valuable that you struggled and worked hard to, make something out of, and then you turn around and go, screw it. I mean, yeah, it's just a comic. What do you care? I'm always amazed by people inside the comic industry, working in the comic industry, collecting a paycheck from the comic industry, who use that line, "It's just comics. What are you so worried about?" Like, I mean, you're right. I'm paying for them, so I could just stop. Your livelihood is dependent on them. I think you should probably not use the words, it's just comics. I mean, it's just your source of income, but hey, you do you. Anyway, I don't know. I don't think it's overreactionary at all. I do think that the stuff they're doing with Miles is self-destructive. I think that it's, can they recover from it? Probably. If they keep doing it for the next year, it's going to hurt. I don't think characters, I think that you can do a generational legacy swap of a character if you put the work into it and you make the story fit. I think that if you just kind of randomly show up one day and you say, hey, the face inside the costume's different, then you are doing what the critics are saying you're doing. You're treating your characters very casually. So I wouldn't do it. Anyway, good question. I'm curious what the people, I suspect most of the people in the comments are going to agree with this, but we'll see. I'd love it if you disagree with this. Why? I'm not going to mock you, and I'd ask people in the comments to be respectful if you come in and just give your honest opinion. But why? What's the other way to look at this? What's the way to look at this that isn't harmful? I'm curious to hear that take. Anyway, hope you're doing well, and have a great day. Thanks for listening.